I want you to consider joining my Patreon. Advanced access to 2 weeks of extra One Piece content, 1 week early access to Wednesday videos, and so much more. Check it out in the link below. Hurry! Lola being an absolute legend and helping out Nami and by extension our crew with info on the island and what's going on. Prime example of prior wins where I've said about people knowing things they should know about and not other things they wouldn't know of. She would know this. She's been knocking about the whole time. They really have all got such unique personalities, haven't they? I know that's obvious by this point, but it just made me think, no one else on the crew will have thoughts like this. Nami in a wedding dress not running on the spot. I do like this side to her. There's something about it. Wow, it's a rare moment where nearly the entire crew gets a badass win. That is such a great shot for multiple reasons. Usopp just being super upfront about his feelings on the matter. Frankie is very smart here. Instead of being bundled up together where he can potentially crush them all at the same time, he yells for them to scatter, so now he can't do that. Love me some scenes like this where it looks like it's been ripped right out of the manga. Also, they're not running on the spot again. Big! Honestly, the animation on that entire segment was oddly really nice and shiny looking. It was way too long to show, but it really was awesome looking. That sound when his empty hand is shown. 2 wins here. First of all, you all know me well. It's the damn view. Second of all, it's Chopper's voice acting there, sounding really stressed. That was hilariously well done. Oh, that is such a good reply. Oh my goodness. I swear these jokes always land so well in One Piece, yet in some other comedy type anime, it doesn't get a laugh out of me the second time. Wow, it's genuinely one of the first times I've ever seen Zoro be embarrassed about anything. One of the many things I love about Robin is how she is so calm in moments like this. She listens to his plan, figures she can do that, and then agrees and gets ready. I feel bad now. I hadn't even thought about Brock after everyone else lost the first round to Oars at the end of the last episode, but yay, here he is again. He continues to be just the height of jokes for me in this anime right now. I'm just gonna give a win as I take a prediction here, but he can use milk to heal his bones. That'd be so legendary if that's the case. Let's go see. Heck yes, I was right. So damn smart. We all get wins. I love this ongoing joke of his too. In fact, it was a little too much to show, but just prior he said, I can feel it in my paws, but I'm a skeleton so I don't have paws. Then this one. 3 times in like 3 minutes, I think. Classic Oda flicking over now to what she's doing and how it links into what Nami is looking for too. But also, let's say half the win is for everything of theirs winding back up on the ship. He knows how to get Sanji to go along with his plan, doesn't he? I'll be real, I obviously don't know what their plan is at this early stage, but that attack from Zoro was brilliantly animated. And then her attack too. I still don't know what is going on, but it was fantastic, and not to mention huge, assuming it is an attack anyway, but look at it! I mean, seriously, let's hear it for Robin. This is similar to the one she used in, I think, maybe the 4th movie? The one with the boat race? Love how it was then used here too. Same time though, let's hear it for Frankie for building a wooden staircase in mid-air. 2 wins here. 1, it's got to be for the heavy attack itself, that was damn good. 2, it's for the frapper part, that was brilliant. Max wins here. I just had to do it between the heavy impact shot on the leg, but also just prior to it landing, we got some genuinely great animation on Zombie Luffy spinning around up top. They managed to, together, totally flip over that giant ass foe. That's a big win in my book. The book of big win moments. Also take a quick one because this reminded me that they all took part in that attack. As at first I was like, Usopp didn't do anything, and then I remembered he hit it with the oil at the start. Damn dude, Sanji is really racking up the badass wins these past few episodes. This just reminded me as well that we haven't done a crowd shot where everyone looks different in a little while. This feels like a good place for it. For context, he said, "You don't think someone was able to flip him, do you?" Another zombie said, "You're crazy, an army of 1,000 couldn't flip him." And then he says this at this site. I enjoyed this moment because it was the same as the end of the last episode, but this time they've got the advantage, whereas last time Oars had just beaten them in the round, basically. It's somewhat rare in One Piece to get some, I guess you'd call it background on a smaller villain within the arc. What an outstanding, completely out of the clear blue sky plot twist to suddenly spring up out of nowhere that there's now this huge dude on their ship. Don't care, giving it a follow-up win, I'm blown away. Oda hasn't really ever done this mid-arc, I don't recall. Nami's still very much in a wedding dress. I know it's a simple attack, but I just adore how far Nami has come since the very first episode, and that she's not only confident to take on 2 foes, but also to attack first. 2 wins. 1, how can you ignore 3 different scenes of back-to-back-to-back not running on the spots? Answer, you can't. 2, I liked the notion that she's not only fleeing for her life, but she's kind of screwing over her ex-boss Moria by stealing all the treasure on the ship at the same time. I'll keep winning it so long as Oda keeps doing it, but showing multiple characters sort of within one time frame is so awesome to me, as obviously we saw this happening just now. One more quick not running on the spot. That stark difference between the non-brave and brave members of the crew on clear display. These 2 being brave as punch, if that's a saying, now that they know Zombie Luffy currently can't move. Everyone kicking ass! Just hope they got a lot more salt hanging around they can use. I gotta really give one for the twist there as well. I didn't expect him to suddenly get loose and now they're running away. I've never before seen that facial expression on Robin. That was so funny. Oh my goodness, we really are crazy similar. It's not even funny, man. I had the same thought. Ah, man. Also, take one more because this expression is also super rare from Robin. Let's go. I think what I enjoy about it is how seriously they take it. Like saying docking complete is brilliant to me. And this is the final result. So many good jokes in the last 60 seconds. I love it. I really love these three as well. And man, oh man, does Usopp sell it with his excellent voice acting too. I knew this was their plan, but it of course still gets a win for the clever attack. These three together are amazing. I'm also so happy to see them as a group getting on so well too. I can't believe I missed that. It never really hit me until just now that yes, he really was like Luffy when he said that. I guess it kind of went over my head in the moment. Using me to distract him and then crushing them knees, boy. It's a very Sanji and Zoro thing to do, to accept actually fighting this thing rather than just keeping it busy till Luffy wins his fight. They want to finish it. One of my favourite Zoro things in this world is that because he exists, Oda wrote a bunch of lore regarding swords like this one right here. The sheer size of this place never ceases to amaze me. Now that is a long distance crowd shot worthy of a win. Oh, that is so good! Because just prior she said, I can beat you, my nemesis is Mr. Negative Longnose, Usopp. So when Nami says, who's that? You think she means the name, but no, it's this dude! It's so good because it came out of nowhere, bruh. There is really something about this scene that made it better, and I think it's their panic and shouting to her to run. Oh, to add to the last win, it was the choice of music too. It went super creepy and on edge for a moment. Oh snap, that was amazing. Another warlord of the sea. It's so good it's gotta be stopped, and yet none of you are helping me stop it. Another back-to-back wins moment. You gotta give it up for the size difference on display again. And also, it's a more out there win, but he's voiced by the dude from Persona 3 and the recently released Persona 3 Reload, who first gets you into Seas. The chap with the glasses? Adore that game. What a strange and threatening sounding question! Honestly, considering her weapons, that attack itself with the zooming out shot looked brilliant, all things considered. Max Winsies, please! Packed in a short but sweet rotating shot, and then music cuts. She's gone. Her ability is gone. I'm in shock at how awesome that was. All it took was a slight turn of the head and everyone goes from combat ready to fleeing. He's so quick and the whole scene is so legendary. Quick one to end the episode, as it's revealed he might also be after Luffy potentially, but at least knew of Ace. Just one of those rare moments where everything is pretty normal and then I hear voice acting that makes me say, man, the voice acting is great in this show. A pretty cool way of reminding people towards the now end of the arc and saga what we're fighting for here, or part of the reason why they're fighting anyway. Not running after Moria's shadow on the spot. It's an absolutely classic Zoro badass moment, baby. I love that because he described how it's much heavier than his last blade, so he was able to use it to deflect such a heavy attack. Plus, it's great, he's testing out his swords too. So cool! Playing along beautifully with the last win like a pair of childhood friends who do sports together, we get Zoro amazed by his own new sword's power in making this attack larger than ever before. So sick! Max wins again, and I'll tell you why if you just flip it, settle down for a moment. It was Zoro's impressive voice acting scream as he attacked, but also the strategy of pulling back, then leaping in before he stepped down. You know anti-anime is one of my favourite things, stuff that breaks the mould, and this one did just that. He goes to attack but is caught off guard, retreats, and then does the attack again. It had to be said, I'm glad Usopp said it. Of course Zoro won't listen to that, but I'm glad someone pointed out how this fight doesn't actually need to be happening, technically speaking.
You know what?
I think a second win is quickly coming down the tube, but for now, take one for pointing out their devil fruit powers and what links them. I hadn't considered that. And there it comes out the tube I installed earlier, metaphorically speaking of course, as it's revealed why Zoro not only wants to fight it, but feels he has to, and it makes perfect sense. Legend! I mean, these views are just unreal for so many reasons. The ship's so damn huge that things like this being able to happen to it legit never even crossed my mind before now. Emergency plot twist alert! It's even worse than I thought. They're actually nearly out of the fog already. I also totally forgot about that. I think in fairness it's because it was before my 3 weeks off being sick, but still totally spaced. I love that so damn much. Okay, splitting it again. First of all, look at the size of these two. It's incredible. But also I gotta talk about how great the setup was. They come rushing in to report about the fog. He says, I don't care, we're pirates, we go where the sea takes us. He follows it up by, as he stares ahead of himself, more importantly, shut your faces because I'm entertaining our guest here. This tells me he A, didn't expect to see him, and B, he sees him as being dangerous, since he clearly didn't take his eyes off the guy. As I said, I love it. Ah, so that's what that was. I figured that was the case, but still, so good.
Marcelus the Roman.
Whoa, finding out that Blackbeard is becoming the newest member of their powerful group. I often find myself speaking about world events with such high praise, and as you can imagine, this scene is no different. It's just wild to me, the size of the impact Luffy and crew have made in the world already. Another 2 wins. We got him offering to aid Moria. That's his reason for being there, to stop Luffy from taking him out, which is wild. But also we have Moria acting in a way we haven't seen before now, since he's been a fairly chilled dude to be honest so far, so it genuinely shocked me. So many excellent twists, and this is yet another one. He was inside this thing the whole time near enough? Mad though, because he's been getting tossed around a lot recently. For context, Frankie was lightly hinting that maybe Moria took Luffy out, and I just adored Chopper's very strong reaction to that question here. Is there anything better than Moria getting low-key annoyed at Zombie Luffy poking at him? He's an evil dude and trying to gloat while dealing with Zombie Luffy being, well, Luffy-ish. Zoro being super smart here in taking charge of the plans, which brings me back to a win from like well over 100 episodes ago, where I said others often take charge one at a time. So much anti-anime-ness. You know as well as I do, the villain will often pretend like they couldn't hear a clear convo, but here he tells him to cut off his approach to the kitchen. Another Max wins. I have to for that, because nothing is more anti-anime than having a plan set out and then instead the salt came to them. But also the rescue and return of Brock, heck yes. Oh damn, I've been saying Brock. I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of comments from his entrance till now telling me this. Oh well. But yeah, great ending with those words from Brock.
Nightmare Luffy, Kenzan!
One of those very rare times where they do something unique with the title intro. Go on and collect your win. And of course, I can't hear that and not give it a win. It's like a nervous tick. It has to be done because he's so bloody funny. Is it just me who loves him? I'm really far ahead right now of the public video, so you lot haven't come across Brock with me yet. But when he talks like this, I love it so much. Let me know. Absolutely another nearly full crew badass looking shot. Awesome looking zoom out shot number 1. And then another one that involves his laughter and had to be shown. Happy to see that in spite of looking like he has a scar still, that the milk has at least reformed the bones together. I often find myself talking about wanting to see new members talking to old members, seeing their combos, and now it's great to see their combat styles being mixed like here. Too long to show, but finding out that Oars only thinks he's feeling pain because of his link to still being human, which makes him potentially an even tougher foe. A rotating shot and not running on the spot, so good I had to show it first. Just as Frankie and Usopp worked together just now, let's totally give one for Sanji and Zoro doing the same, with Chopper also providing help at the first part too. Robin just casually being the best and getting Brook out of there in time. I love this anime so much it's not even funny. Usopp's got a new weapon! Let's go! This doesn't happen too often, so it's a gift. Brilliant and inspired choice to have him continuing to fight in the background behind these two talking. Even though he dodged it, it was Frankie and Usopp working together now for the second time. How they changed the music from funky, happy-go-lucky to a deadly serious vibe is one of the best things about both this anime and anime in general, how it treats itself far more serious than cartoons. The sheer worry in Usopp's voice, but also that panning shot of everyone. This view of Brook! That actually reminds me of an excellent bit in Hunter x Hunter. No spoilers, but the Killua bit with Knuckle. If you know, you know. So heck yeah, well done, Nami. Bonus win because they hit Moria too.
ちょっと呼ばないでよ気づかれるでしょ
This bit made me laugh probably harder than they intended to. I think she really wanted to tell him to shut the hell up.
今のうちだフランキーを移動させろ
Again, Zoro very much still in a period of taking charge. Color me extremely shocked. He can stretch.
いたナミを無事だ
Amazingly, Robin is using her ability at a massive distance away and saves Nami. I tell you, she is the best.
まずいことが起きたぞ今あいつの腕がなんで伸びるんだ
Zoro seemingly walking backwards into the frame is amazing, but seeing everyone coming together for this shot was even better.
なんだおめえら急いでんだよ俺は何の用だだからなんだおめえら
His angry reaction after being tripped up feels like such a Luffy thing to do. Oh yeah, you kind of forget that the others are shadows of people too, so we got to meet the real life version of Lola. Quite the crowd shot here, even better than the last one I win, and everyone not only looking different but also being dressed differently too.
状況は被害者ネットワークで全て承知俺たちもう3年も影なしなんだ
It's a very small win, but I appreciated a comment coming around about how they're this well informed. Turns out that they banded together as victims and made it into a network of sorts. As such, they're able to fill Luffy in logically on events taking place with his crew, and I just enjoy Oda going that extra mile to explain it logically.
じゃいられねえ待ってってんでしょ
Instead of just asking him to stop, she quickly trips him, which involved physically getting ahead as it was.
やめろなんかいい意識が
An interesting twist there, most definitely. It'll either make him stronger and or make him able to withstand the sun, I'm guessing. Not only does Luffy look different, which is a nicely added touch, but now he's also able to use a sword.
しかも影はお前の気力が持つ限りいくつでも入れられるんだ
どうすっごいでしょ
Okay, you know what? Take another for that, because it's not just a single shadow, it's multiple shadows, so this just got even more interesting.
俺たちが命がけで手に入れた全ての影をお前にやる
そんなに
So the crazy thing is, Luffy has to finish things in 10 minutes or all the shadows will leave him since he's not a zombie. That's another solid twist, baby! We'll move on to Luffy soon, but I was just amazed again thinking that they had to draw so many characters from so many angles for just these short scenes. So much effort.
力が溢れ出て止められねえぜ
And now with Luffy, we'll do 2 wins back to back. Luffy is a giant now, so that is sick. Also, he managed to take in 100 shadows without losing himself, when they could only manage 2 or 3, and they thought he maybe could do 20 to 30. That's how insanely strong his willpower is. Great ending as Nightmare Luffy wanders off in the wrong direction, but still a great ending all the same. They did a really good job of also doing his attacks as a giant, especially since it's made more difficult by him now being able to do stretching based attacks. Just another great example of the last win, but this time movement wise. Looks real good. For context, it's basically another use of his Devil Fruit power, being able to use it to gain Luffy's Gobble Gobble powers and have Oars now use it. It was too long to show, but safe to say it was another instance like the last win where he was explaining yet another different use of his own power and how he does it. Change of clothing for Nami, always enjoying that. Such a unique battle for this kind of stuff. Like, Oda really stretched it with the shadow power and kept building on it over time too, which is really impressive from where I'm sitting. On my sofa! Zombie Luffy does seem to have some of his personality still, sometimes like this.
嘘でしょもう朝になるわよ
それが敵の狙いなんだからやるしかねえだろ
For some reason, I really enjoyed Nami laying out the enemy's plan in the form of a question. Usopp confirms it, and she kicks up a fuss about it. His reply is great too. All that not running on the spot though. 2 wins for this, 1 for how many people were involved in the attack. And of course, need I even mention the second one with his laughter being very obvious. Someone landed the first attack on him in a while since he got all rubbery and stuff. I love Zoro's attacks like this, they're so sick! Another one of our crew has gone on to take another massive attack. It feels like a thing that's never really happened before, that in order to get one hit in, you gotta take a big one. I don't know if she has a plan or is hilariously just running away whilst telling him to fight, but it still gets a win. Yet another twist? Why didn't it work? Let's all join hands and proceed together with great caution. Oh, she's so good, and half the win has to be how she's not out of breath doing it like she was versus Zombie Zoro, as I had thought it strange that she used it on Oars, but was fine, but obviously she didn't. It's at times like these I'm wowed by how strong she can be. I mean, he's one of the warlords. Purely this view of Usopp. And of course, just as I said 2 wins back, he's a warlord. Of course he's got a decent counter to her. Weird win, but my thought was exactly the same near enough. It's a long distance devil fruit power contest. That's probably my favourite attack of hers because it's so brutal. He can switch with his shadow? Man oh man, Oda keeps you guessing and he keeps building their powers like it's no biggie. Purely Moria. Things really going from bad to worse with her shadow now being stolen, but Nightmare Luffy is on his way, so it's not a JoJo situation just yet. Heck yes, Sanji is so angry he's totally going Super Saiyan again. I enjoyed it so much when he did it during the last saga too. Sadly it doesn't work here, but it's still a sick attack. It is so very much the height of sick to know that Sanji can also take an attack fully head on and then blast it aside. One of the, quite frankly, amazing ways that Chopper can prove to be useful outside of combat and normal doctor type duties. I think this is a first in fact, using those skills in a battle. Chopper being totes adorbs! Okay, I'm gonna say it. One of my favourite things this arc has been all the working together. I can't recall it happening anywhere near this much in prior battles. Just like I was saying before, in order to land big attacks, they're taking huge ones in return, sadly. Oars! So many times these views are happening! Wow, never done a running scene like this before, I don't think. Looked even more action-packed than usual as a result. Anti-anime has really been the theme of this video, and here's more of it. You'd think Zoro would get the shot off, but nope! He's such a badass! So happy to see this was added. I had been wondering what it'd be like for him inside of Oars given all of the jumping about and whatnot, and finally we see it. Loved the clear and obvious confidence on Zoro to know he could have been taken out there, but instead he had faith in his ability to take it straight on, and he did it. Zoro has now sadly given one giant attack in order to receive one in return. Both were fantastic looking attacks though, and at least Zoro has technically been hit twice. He's so strong. Usopp having this at the ready and just in friggin' time. I have no doubt it won't work though, because otherwise seemingly Nightmare Luffy would have no job to do other than Moria. Okay, let's see. Yet another brilliant example of not everyone being in the know about every little thing because of being away when it was learned. Love how Oda is so consistent with this. Okay, I figured that'd be the case. Great twist though, but I knew he had to somehow still be in the fight, but I did not expect it would be because Moria's shadow had done this. Oda had to be doing this on purpose, right? They found a wind's vein and they'd be swinging their pickaxes at it like crazy during this arc. 2 wins, first is split in half. It's Usopp being so disappointed in the bag splitting because Brook worked hard to get it, and the other half is Nami feeling sorry for him. Was too long to show prior. Second has to be this attack coming out of nowhere. You know that's a favourite of mine, where they just attack without warning because it's more realistic. Exact same win as the last one, she's screaming for him to stop, and meanwhile he leaps to attack her suddenly. Oh, he's just turned up! Let's go! So hard! Nightmare Luffy not only was quick enough to save them, but also get them up there to safety. This doesn't half bode well that he can move that quick. Monkey D. Luffy does it! Rotating shot and just proving that he knows exactly who he is in spite of having 100 odd shadows inside him. Just as mentioned prior, Moria isn't instantly in the know. He thinks it may be what he's thinking, but he was also unsure if Luffy was able to physically change shape too. I'm giving it max wins, stopping it dead in its tracks, no flinch, using just one hand. That was so badass, it would have felt lame to give it a single win. For clarity, he says, "I am the one and only Luffy," and then lands this super quick and powerful attack. I tell you, can't wait to start Death Parade Part 1 of 2 and then get back into this. Few things make me laugh out loud quite this much, but the notion that he thinks one crew member is so badly hurt that he turned into a skeleton is incredible to me. But also, you gotta love how they've come out there to help the crew now that the battle has moved away too. These guys and gals are great, yet I thought they were baddies. Another great thing it feels like only Oda would come up with, that because they're so far away and so high up, they're not sure if they're zombies going after their crew or whatever. So clever! It's repeated, but the attack looks great. I kinda wish he'd started with the blade given the time limit, but it still doesn't stop it from being win-worthy, of course. Easy one for landing by far the hardest hit yet against Moria. I've been waiting for this and it tasted oh so sweet. Obviously it was about 45 seconds too long to show, but absolutely one for this giant series of attacks. What I also liked is how Luffy, being a master of his fruit power, was able to tactically beat him too. Oh well, this is it now, and the episode is about to end. I'm genuinely nervous. feels a little early to be celebrating given that there's a few episodes left in the saga, but easy win for a truly great ending there. I look forward to seeing what is next very soon. Chrono, the Swedish Muggle, Marcelus the Roman, Nexus 47, AdmiralNugget, Moody Blues, Kody Tiffany, Timothy Wilcox, Curtis Daniels Jr., Tomo Sandy, Henrik Jessen, Tide Wes, David Freriks, OliveWharf, FuriousMoe, SaltLover, Jokerrims, Rimuru, GamerLudwig, Onyx Calif, Donald Newburn, Robert Jackson, Sakomi Arorim, Starkip, Kai Wolfspring, Dante's Face, Mihran Ardjian, Kody Niemeier, Snowy, Sarcastic Truth, Hitter the Wicked, Will Sass, Thrasher 340, Owen Halloran, Extinct Hero, Alexander Schwartz, Dante Sol, Drake's Daughter, Rudies, Dragon Boy 1, Iso, Cameron, Mode of Rim, Tiger Lily Warrior, Knuckle Duster, Otter Abodonisi, Christian Tarassa, Matthew Barr, Ruby Rose, Commander Cyrus, Cloud Garden, Luis Minito, Brian Bayot, Minimasher, Garrett Vermish, Ryan DeVeries, Dragon Defender, Natsu Dragneel, A Joker XD, Willy Man, Laxor, TRS, Liam Gogati, Kai158, Mr. Firecall, Wacky Normal, Science 44, Lionel Schultz, Kevin Elston, Nozomi, Nick Monaco, Marvin, Satakayari, Devikel, Christopher Willis, Laxus, Michael Lewis, Lazy Joe Beard, CD Mad Gamer, Cecilia, Nick Wyndham, Nuvagown, Guru, Cedric, Kevin 102, Sean, Darth Weirdo, Dragonstorm 35, Cumfroy, Kelnock, Marquez, Q-Flash, Brainless Ben, Oliver Smiley Reacts, Your Edvardson, Kepan, Kyle Jones, Peter Milligan, John, The Element Taylor Wars, Amadillo, Nick Pell, Warkeeper, The Ever Commander, Jason Davies, Lightly Winter, Matthew Blancett, Oscar I. Lopez, Juffa 6263, Storm 970, Isel Caldera, Kevin Nalta, Dark Lord Bloody Soul, Dan, Ali 50, Bird Without a Word, Chris Harris, 9028, Headshot Hunter, Brandon Creer.